list. So elements are ordered, so it means it can be indexed and you can loop over the index like in strings and in tuples. So you can access each element like I said with index. Index always starts with 0, so you can iterate over them, and you can use function length and get the number of elements. You can use for existence of elements using the in operation, so you can check whether a particular element is exist and it can return true or false with the in operation. And not in also is another operation is mentioned. It's like a inverse function of in. So it also uses addition and multiplication operation like we seen in tuples recently. So hello is a string which is passed to ss, and if I put it inside this bracket it will be treated as a tuple. If I put it in square brackets it will be treated as a list. So both we will have a length, and for both we can print each and every element, and for both we can check this in and not in operation. Okay, let's just see this in a quick glance. So let's do this. I will comment out list first, and it will do the same operation as you can see over here. And if I comment out the list and try the with the tuple, it will also return the same thing. So it's not much of a difference if you see in this way, but the mutability and immutability, that is the biggest difference between tuples and lists. So for each of them, like I said, you can apply map, min and sum operations if they are numericals. So like I said, it is mutable and tuples are immutable. So you can access list and replace the values like it's done here, but you cannot do that in strings and tuples. So that's with an example you can try it. So replace a slice with a list. So remember, you can slice the information, but you cannot replace the slice in tuple, which is like mutation property. So in list you can do that. So remember, like I tried to replace apple with orange last time, so I'm trying to do that. So I'm passing this tuple to a print function. It will print probably. So I'm trying to access of value 1 to index 3, 1 and 2, so which is these two. I'm trying to pass these three elements instead of these two, so this will print apple, these three, followed by durian, orange and others. So it's pretty easy. So imagine what this one will print. I'm starting from 2, but I will end before 2. So what do you think this will print? So I know that 0, 1, 2, it has to start from here, but it has to end before this. So I assume it will print A, B, X, Y, Z and C, D, E. Not sure, but let's try this. Yep, A, B, X, Y, Z, C, D, E. So it just did a simple insert operation rather than replacing. So you want this to be in position 2 and you want this to be end before position 2 of the current fruit. So that's what it means. Okay. So what this one will print? 224 is an empty string. Remember, empty string is a false if you pass it through the looping statement, but it can also just be an empty string or empty element for the list. So A till 0, 1. So from 2 to 3, which is these two, will be nulled, and let's see what it does. Yeah, it removes C and D and replaces with an empty element. So fruitless, we are using an additional operation. This one will be interesting and definitely something that you can't predict. So I'm having a tuple in the fruit list, but I'm passing a string. Remember, this cannot be considered as, sorry, I have a fruit list and I have a string. It cannot be considered as tuple or a list because it doesn't have both of the brackets or the comma after that. So this is a string. So what does this, how does this will append to this one if I use an additional operation? Each and every element will be of the string will be added as a separate element to the list. So that in mind, if I want to add it as an element itself, so I would do something like this. I will pass it as a tuple itself. That would work. Okay, so I want to append. The append is the operation, and there is one more. Let me see what it is. Extend. So these are two operations that might confuse you because of the fact that how it does. So I will explain what's the difference between them in later point. So just try to understand that the append operation will add the element at the last index. So that's pretty much it. So if I append with this like I tried with the plus operation, it acts pretty funny because this is the element itself. So that might seem strange, but try to play with it and see how it behaves. So see what extend does. So I try to pass the tuple itself, but see how this takes. So this takes complete differently. So this does what we expect it to do, but the previous statement uh, append didn't work as expected, but extend works like what we want it to do. So let's see this one. So this is the difference I'm talking about. Append adds an element to a list, and extend concatenates the first list with another list. So whatever you are passing, it will be treated as list and it will do the concatenation operation. So but append, it's simply like it will just whatever you throw in, even a different data type, it will just append to it. So that's the bigger difference. So this is a string, so this will be treated as an individual element if you try to pass in, so that's fine, we've seen it before. So insert, what is printed here. So I try to insert at index 2 0 1 2 in this position, and value of orange, let's see that. Okay, so it prints at here and it is more like 2 colon 2, and replacing the value just we seen before. So pretty much this. Okay, this one will throw an error, I guess. No, okay, so this is out of range, but insert works pretty well. Even if you give out of range, it will just determine that the list length is 4, and it will just append the value at last. So remove, okay, remove, delete, and there is one more operation. I will explain the difference at later part of time. So we are trying to remove banana from the list, and so the first element of occurrence in banana is removed, and the second one will be forgiven. So pop, okay, so difference between, okay, the pop and the remove function is that the pop returns the value that it removed. So the remove, if you try to print it out, you won't get anything. So if you want to print what you are popping out, so you can have a return from the return operation from pop. So I try to pop, it will pop. If I didn't mention any, it will just pop from the last. It's like a stack. So what is added at the last will be removed. So if I print the thing that is popped at last, so you will I mean, if you print this pop output, it will return the last element that is popped out, and the current list contains just 3 elements. Okay, so I'm trying to index it over here 0 1 2. I think it will take cherry out and it will print the rest. So even go over pop operation with a for loop or a while loop. So it basically like what is the whatever the element is, it is just going over in a incremental fashion and it will pop everything out, and you will finally get like nothing at the end of the this while operation. So you can use it in a looping function. That's what it basically means. So function list, sorry, fruit list. So this is a list and you are trying to access the value 3012, which is banana, and you are deleting it. And okay, let's see, if it's deleted, it will it will delete that particular. Okay, so the difference between delete operation and remove operation is that you can remove a particular index, so that index function is not available with the remove operation. So if you can just simply pass the element in remove, but in delete you can define like which index you want to remove. So that's a feature that you can use. So this is a good question from my professor. I still don't know the answer. If you can figure it out. Is delete a method or a function? So from my understanding, a method is something that you can access it from a library. So that's what I consider as a method. A function is something like you define it by yourself, or a built-in function for mathematical operations. So that always confuses me. I kind of like don't confuse it much. So that's fine with me. So you can look into it if you want. Uh, yep, this one is you are trying to delete something from an out of range index. I believe this will throw an error, and rather like the pop operation, I mean rather something like there was an argument before we try to append something at the value 20, you did it, but this one won't delete the Dorian because it is out of range. Rather it will throw an error, I guess. So play with it. That's what my suggestion is in terms of Python. So deleting fruit 2 is to 4012 and till 4, I think it will delete cherry and banana. Pretty straightforward. So okay, so I'm deleting something at 012 till 0. So it is an empty string I'm trying to slice. It doesn't make sense. It just prints everything back, so you cannot go back like this. So I'm starting with 2, I'm trying to delete till 0, so this doesn't work like that. So let's see what is printed. We know that we've seen multiple times, not interested in that. So count of L. So we seen this count and L operations. It will basically count the number of L's and index the first appearance of L. That's pretty straightforward. Yep. So we are trying to sort this out. It basically sorts the alphabets from A to Z. Pretty straightforward. So string lower. So this is a bit different because you need to understand what the keyword operation does in terms of sorting. So if you are trying to sort with what is the lowercase, I mean based on the lowercase appearance, so you can sort it like that. So basically this will start apple, banana, C, like that. So that's what my output would be. So instead of this you can pass anything. You just need to google it, what is the keyword argument for a sort function. So that I didn't memorize. This one basically second means it will check the second value and try to compare with the rest. So I believe z b z y x w, that would be the order, I guess, because a b c d are the second arguments and it simply sorts like that. So so there is something called lambda. I don't know what that does. You can Google it. So something like this, like a reverse. There are multiple things that you can do with the list. Unlike the tuple, you had something like count and index thing. It has a lot of other features, so you can make use of it. The reverse is simply reverse everything, so you cannot do that in string. What it means. So okay, so this is something from the example which we didn't see. Don't worry about that. So that's pretty straightforward.